Hello and welcome back to my channel. First product I'm going to be using is this Weleda Skin Food. I'll be using this as a primer to set the rest of my makeup. So I'm just using my fingers to warm up the product, and then I'll be blending it in with my fingers as well. Now I'm taking my Momma Color Correcting Concealer. This is in the shade Green. I'm going to be using this on all my red areas. So the green will help hide the redness. So I'm using it with a Jessup concealer brush, and I'm just going to be spot concealing first, and then I will use that same brush just to lightly blend in. You don't want to blend it in too much, or else it won't work and the product will sort of just. Now I'm taking my Momma liquid foundation and my Real Techniques face brush. So I just pop one pump on that brush and I'll spread it all over, and then I will be blending it in with that brush. So the movements I'm using is stippling motion, so that's sort of just dabbing onto my skin. I don't want to sort of swirl and wipe my brush because I want to keep that green concealer on, and if you wipe, then you're kind of wiping off that concealer. See, I'm just stippling on top, and it all blends in. Now the shade is slightly too dark. I will try and mix it with a lighter one once I purchase it. But I think with the bronzing and the blush, I sort of blended it in and made it work. So now I'm taking that same concealer brush with my Momma Concealer in Light, and I'm just going to go on any of those blemishes that I still might be popping through, as well as my under eyes, and I'll be using it on my eyelids as a base for my eyeshadow. So I'm just taking that face brush now and just blending in that concealer. Now I'm using my Inika face powder. This is in the shade Grace, and this is a clean face brush from Real Techniques. So I do how I normally do. I dip it in and apply it all over. Because it is a tester, you can't swirl it around. I'm applying this all over. This helps your makeup not slick and slide off, as well as absorbs any of the oils. Alright, off camera I did my eyebrows. I do the same routine like I always do. So I'm using my ecobrow wax in Penelope, and then I sharpen the edges with the concealer. So now I'm taking my Nude by Nature black eyeliner pencil, and I'm going to be lining my lash line. So it doesn't matter if this is quite messy because we'll be blending and smudging it out later, because we will be doing a smoky eye. Make sure there is no empty spots. Get it nice and dark on that lashes. So now I'm taking this brush from the balm and I'm going to be smudging that eyeliner in. Now I'm taking this Nude by Nature eyeshadow trio. I'll be taking the black shade here, and we're going to be going over and setting that eyeliner, as well as smudging out slightly. So from that eyeliner you can see, because I've got hooded eyes, it has slightly put a bit of product on top, but that's okay. We'll be going over the top of that later and you won't even notice it's there. So all I'm doing is just making sure I'm setting that eyeliner and smudging out ever so slightly. So now I'm taking this shimmery grey shade now, or silver grey. I'm taking that with a flat shader brush now, and we're just going to be applying that all over the eyelid. And I am going over the top of that black. But I'm concentrating the colour mostly on the lid. Dipping in and adding more as I need. See, I'm sort of pressing rather than smudging. So now with a clean, small, fluffy brush, I'm going to be blending out that eyeshadow. So concentrating blending on the edges, but I also wanted to blend the colour over the top of the black just to make sure it's all nice and blended. Alright, so I'm taking this light purple shade now from this Benecos eyeshadow palette, and I'm taking a bigger fluffy brush. So we're going to be popping this into that crease. So we'll be blending out that grey shade. So I always start on the outer corner and work my way in, and then I'm doing windscreen wiper motions just to blend that in. And all I'm doing is popping that into the crease and just going back and forth. Okay, taking that darker shade now, and we're just going to mimic that exact same step just to deepen that crease colour. Applying a few different colours layering is just adding some extra dimension. It also helps with the sort of fading effect to use a couple of shadows together. So as you can see, I'm sort of applying it just slightly lower than the lighter shade. Now I'm taking a clean brush, and we're just going to make sure all the edges are nice and soft and blended. Going back into that grey silver shade now, and we're just going to deepen that colour. You do find some of it does fade when you're blending, because sometimes you're wiping some off, but we'll just add a little bit more and then blend, add more and blend. So adding a little bit of the black shade as well, just to deepen that out. So I'm going back in with that black shade, but I'm taking this itty bitty angle brush, and we're going to mark out my winged liner. So I find this step really helps me map out my wing, so then when I go over with a liquid eyeliner, it just goes on a lot smoother because all I am doing is tracing over the top. So I'm using my Benecos Natural Liquid Eyeliner here. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it in the camera frame, I'm so sorry, but all I did was trace over that line, and then I just went over my lash line a little bit. And I also applied my Sarah Jean lashes off camera. I used the SS004 for this. Now I'm going back with that liner, and I'm just going over the band of the lashes just to make sure it's nice and hidden. Now I'm taking this brown shade from that same Benecos eyeshadow palette. I'm taking this with a pencil brush. This is from Jessup, and I'm just going to be going on my bottom lash line just to add a bit of smokiness. And I didn't want to go sort of black or grey, so I thought, why not add a little bit of warmth under there? I play around with heaps of colours. I don't really follow any rules. I just go through it in whatever mood I'm in. So now we're going to highlight using this white shade and another clean pencil brush. Applying this on the inner corners, and then also going under my brow bone. So just stick it directly in the center and then go a little bit down, but I don't want it to mix into the eyeshadow too much. We don't want to lose any color. And you sort of want to highlight on the highest point, so. Beautiful color. And you can just see the lift that it does. Now I'm going to put some mascara on. This is from Dusty Girls. So I'm just concentrating this on my actual lashes just to help them blend in with those false lashes. And then we're also going to do our bottom lashes as well. It's amazing what mascara can do to any look. Now I'm going to be contouring with this Dusty Girls bronzer and this Jessup brush. This is such a perfect brush for getting right into those cheekbones. So I decided to go for a sharper contour today, so I'm concentrating that in the hollows of my cheekbones, a little bit on my forehead, and then I go down my sort of chin jaw area. This is just helping create a bit more structure on my face. So right now, like, that's helping my cheekbones pop a bit. And I know I have a sort of little forehead anyway, but I find that this sort of helps blend in that bronze and make it not so harsh if I've just applied it to my cheekbones. I do go down a little bit of my nose as well. And I always make sure I bronze down my neck just to blend all the. Now I'm using my Benecos blush here. And this is another Jessup brush. And I'm going to be applying the bulk of the colour on the apples of my cheeks and always blending it inwards towards my ear and blending it in with that contour. Now I'm going to be highlighting with this Momma highlighter and my Jessup brush. Applying it on the highest parts of my cheek. And this is such a beautiful shimmer pearl shade. I sort of say it was white, but it's more pearly. Now I'm taking this sort of neutral pink lipstick from Dusty Girls. This is my new favourite lipstick ever. It's just so pretty. Doesn't show up much on the camera. It looks quite nude, but it actually, in fact, is a bit more pink in real life than it's showing up. So pinky nude. And I find it's quite matte, so I wanted to go in with my Dusty Girl lip gloss just to give it a bit more shine. Applying it on the back of my hand and using my finger so I don't put any of that lipstick shade colour in the lip gloss because it is just a clear gloss. And everyone knows I'm really not skilled with my hair, so all I did was take it out, zhuzh a little bit, and voila. And here is my finished look. I hope you like this. I had so much fun playing with darker colours. And see how you can still achieve a really dramatic look with all natural products. So don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching.